Hey, so what exactly is happening over here? So, we are gonna continue with the forest.wad, and yeah, we're gonna do a little bit different thing this time. So, I have already done the walkthrough for this, so I have probably uploaded it as well. I'm not sure when will I put it online, but anyway, like I have already done walkthrough for this stuff. So this is gonna be something slightly different, and what exactly is the new thing over here? So this will be continuous run. And you could say that, okay, well, continuous one, that's the easier one. So for example, um, I have chainsaw over here, so I will carry that chainsaw um, to the very end. So like this is easy, right? Well, technically true, but the new thing is that um, there will be absolutely no saves whatsoever. And of course, I didn't do the saves in the pistol starts either. But right now, this will be continuous run without saves whatsoever. So, how long will this take? Well, this will take like close to 3 hours, more than 2.5 hours. And that is continuous swoop. So basically, whenever I make to, let's say, map 9, if I die there, that means that we're gonna go back to map 1. So the difficulty is just like completely different. So this is just huge durance test. And because of that, I can say right now that this is actually a demo that is running in the background. So I'm doing post commentary this time. So uh, as you can see, I can hop over here and go to the settings and that type of stuff. So yeah, this is demo. I recorded this like 2 days ago. Um, so it's very new, or relatively new anyways, but still, I did a demo recording of this, and doing the post commentary this time. And this will be exception. I don't usually do post commentary. I prefer the live one, but this is exception. And why exactly did I go for the uh, post commentary? So there are different factors. And by the way, um, before I continue to that, I'm gonna say that I will not break down the strategies too much over here, because I talked about this in the walkthrough. So the strategies and that type of stuff are basically the same ones. So I'm gonna talk about all kinds of things regarding Doom, of course, but these will be a very much different commentary this time. So I'm gonna talk about all kinds of Doom things, because we're gonna be here for a while. Uh, I don't know how long this video will be, but you can see from the final product, um, it's probably like more than 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna talk about all kinds of things over here. So the commentary. So why using post commentary? So there are like good and bad things. So if we start, like, why is the regular commentary the better one, or the live commentary? So first of all, I will definitely uh, keep doing the live commentary for most of these runs. So this is an exception. I just find it to be more organic, that I talk while I clear this stuff, and it's just, in my opinion, the better one. So I'm gonna keep doing that. Um, then what kind of neutral things there are? So you know it doesn't matter either way which one I do. So neutral things. So I'm very much laconic. So I have very monotone voice. I don't show much of expression or emotion or feeling, whatever. So I'm very mild mannered, and I'm not saying that as a like a self-deprecation or anything. That's just reality. So I'm you know I personally really like these speakers in internet or something when they are very laconic and they are very calm. I just find it much more enjoyable to listen. By the way, this guy's very close. That was almost a zap over there. But yeah, I'm very mild mannered. So I my commentary would be relatively similar. Um, post and be or like post commentary and live commentary would be very similar ones. So I understand when there are people who are very expressive. They have this thing that when they are clearing this stuff, they are maybe a little bit more like hot-headed. You know, they are might be like cursing and screaming and whatever. But, I don't do that kind of stuff. So for me, I'm relatively calm anyways. But people who are a little bit more hot-headed, the live commentary would be like more expressive, and post commentary would be a little bit more calm. So in that sense, for me, it's kind of neutral. So whichever works. Then the reasons why did I go for post commentary? So first of all, first of all, this will take quite some time. So if you um, if you fail many times, it's like same things I point out just again and again. I keep talking about same things, like there is a revenant trap behind me, there is a cacodemon, and that type of stuff, and I just keep repeating same things. It's a little bit um, not so fun to record. So right now I just put the recording on, and this will be one commentary, and then we are done. Although, fun fact, I actually recorded this commentary yesterday, but the recording quality was so bad that I'm gonna do this again. Anyway, like this is not one of those that I have to uh, die like multiple times in these runs and all the time doing like a new commentary. So I it's much easier that I concentrated. Like I recorded this run 2 days ago, so I didn't have to talk. I just concentrated on the gameplay, and when I was done, um, the the run was finished, and that's it. I know that I was able to beat this, so now I can concentrate on just recording the video, and I have the demo file, and I can run this however many times I like. So in that sense, the post commentaries is like a way easier. So I would say that was probably the most important reason. Of course, this was like a little bit repetitive, and I want to point out that I will probably talk about or there will be certain criticism during this 3 hour that I'm gonna talk about, but none of the criticism with these maps are the way that okay, these maps are bad or something like that. So every time if I call some fight boring or that type of stuff, it's not because the maps are bad, it's because this is not very fun way of playing this map set. So the criticism, so to speak, it's criticism about my own gameplay or my own choices with this gameplay stuff. So I don't want to point out anything bad about these maps. By the way, now I'm really in desperate need for that megasphere, so very well timed over there. But anyway, in my walkthrough, there I gave like a hopefully constructive no mentions to what kind of things were best ones and which ones were not necessarily my personal favorites. So there were like different features that I enjoyed or perhaps didn't like too much. But over here, I'm not criticizing these maps. So it's just that this is not very fun way of playing this map. So I recommend that don't try to do this almost 3-hour long run. This will be a little bit frustrating by any metric, not because the maps are bad or anything like that. Yeah, that was probably my speech about post commentary slash live commentary, but we're gonna continue with the live commentary with the whatever I upload next. But the post commentary, this will be exception, possibly from time to time. Yeah, and overall, I think I need to mention that, especially since this video will be very long, and the stuff that I talk about is probably not very interesting. This will be one of those videos that I don't recommend. I don't expect anybody to spend too much time watching this, because, as I said, this will not be extremely interesting for many people. I mean, I like to see my own run here. I want to talk about a few things, but this will be similar to, if you know, there are like certain streamers who do like a hangout stream. Of course, I'm not a streamer or anything, but people who are, sometimes they do like a hangout stream. So, you know, it will be possibly, if there was like some gaming content, it would be something kind of laid back. The commentary will be sort of all around the place, and it's sort of relaxing and not too informative. So it will be similar over here. So I'm gonna talk about all kinds of things, and I don't expect anybody to honestly sit for 3 hours listening my stuff. So I recommend that you can use those chapters, so you can jump from different maps or that kind of stuff. So 3 hours would be quite a lot. Or for some people, I understand that some people like to put this in the background. So if they're doing like gardening work, or for some people they go to sleep and they put some video running in the background. I have personally never understood what's the point over there. For me, I find it much more relaxing to be in silence when I try to sleep. Besides, like wasting electricity or falling asleep, I don't entirely get it. But if somebody wants to put this in the background when they're trying to sleep, you know, good for you. By the way, I'm looking for a missing enemy over here. It's not over here in these crushers. I don't actually think that these crushers can cause a monster to jam. So it's Waffles the Imp who is lurking. We actually saw him very briefly a few minutes ago, or 5 minutes ago, but he's in the pit over there. We can kind of hear him. Soon we will see Fireball. So, where are you? Where are you? There we can see you. So, yeah, as I mentioned, these will not be very interesting videos, so feel free to jump from one place to another, or putting this in the background when you're doing something else. So I'm gonna talk about all kinds of things because I have a few things that I wanted to talk about as well, even though this will not be extremely interesting for many people. But I'm fine with that. Um, yeah, there are actually quite a few YouTubers that like I know, or I don't personally know, but anyway, like there are certain YouTubers who have done like a very relaxing videos where I can very easily tell, and this is not like backhanded compliment or anything. This is like honest compliment. There are certain YouTubers where I can very easily tell that this video is not like it's not laser focused on a certain topic. The YouTuber sort of, talks about all kinds of things. And if you take like little piece of or little clip from that video, you could just say that it's like it's sort of empty. So the YouTuber is just talking about nothing. So it's kind of like a rambling or something. But in some occasions, I just find it a little or quite relaxing. So there are certain videos that I really like because it's like I can put them on and they are just very relaxing, kind of like a hangout streams that they are not supposed to be like a laser focused on anything. It's not like some high quality documentary or something. Sometimes it's very nice to put some simple things, especially when you're very tired. By the way, this part just went so poorly. First of all, that Mankey really took a big chunk out of my health, and then this guy is always difficult. I just take so much damage with this guy all the time, but unfortunately this just went going poorly because now nobody, like not even one imp, distracted this guy. So this was just awful, just absolutely awful. I was not satisfied with this part whatsoever, and you really start to notice that this is like I don't know how far are we into the recording. I don't actually I cannot put the cumulative time over there as far as I know. So I don't see it, but you can see it from the video file. So you can see that we are far. We have so much to do still. So this will take a long time. But anyway, like nerves, little by little, start to kicking in. Anyway, back to those relaxing videos. So there are certain videos where I just find it kind of simple, and especially when I'm very tired, it is so fun to just put something running in the background. As an example, I really like this YouTuber called Polish Links. He has this video called Night Strangers, and I just find it so interesting video. It is like a 1.5 hours long. It's definitely one of my favorite YouTube videos, and it's not like a super high quality. Links is very very active in YouTube, but some of his games I don't entirely understand them. But certain videos, such as Night Strangers, I just find it very relaxing. It's like 1.5 hours long, the video, so it's a visual novel that he plays. It's a little bit moody game, so a little bit dark for certain people. But personally, I just find it very interesting. And what Lynx does over there, he basically just reads through that visual novel. Once again, it's very short, so only like 1.5 hours. So that's a short visual novel. So he just reads it through and makes a couple of comments here and there, but it's not like a high energy commentary or anything. I mean, he's from Poland, so he's very. Once again, I don't know the guy personally, but based on his videos, he's like very Slavic, so very calm, mild-mannered. He doesn't yell or scream. Very rarely he curses, so just very simplistic things, and I just find it very enjoyable. So it's fun. Alright, it's very interesting game. I like the game. I like the video, and that game, Night Strangers. It's like as I said, it's sort of a moody game, so not for everybody. But it's also like very simplistic. The developer, I can't remember the guy's name right now, but he was like a beginner, and once again, no backhanded compliment, but it kind of shows that the game itself is very simple. There is not like some high um, production team behind. It's like very simple, and it really gives the feeling that this game, which is by the way free, so you can download that Night Strangers um, totally legally for free. But like it really gives this feeling that this developer is just starting, so he's kind of trying new thing, and he's testing waters, and most importantly, it feels like this game was very important for the game developer. So it's sort of like a very honest piece of work, um, and that's very nice. So I much rather um, play this game where the production quality might not be very high, but the artist really or the developer really uh, liked what they did. By the way, I got zapped over here, so I'm pretty sure you can run past that guy always if you just go very quickly. This second zap is a little bit suffer, but anyway. So Night Strangers, that's a really cool game. Even though it's very simplistic, and Polish Links, who was the YouTuber, he did a very nice video, and I can watch that video many times. I never get tired of it. It's very interesting. It's always so enjoyable. There are other relaxing videos as well. There is this YouTuber called Redbeard Wizard. So he has couple of very cool videos as well. I haven't watched like too many, but there are certain videos. Once again, it's sort of a cherry picking because it's like very different games that I play, but there are certain same things. Um, but he has like few videos, for example, Stalked. Once again, as the name suggests, it's a little bit spooky game, but very interesting. And It's the game or the video, I guess. It's like 1 hour long, and the wizard he has like very calm and relaxing voice. A little bit raspy, kind of like me. So um, very enjoyable to listen. And by the way, I'm not shouting out these guys because I would like their attention or anything. They they do their own thing. Plus, these guys they have like 1,000 subs or 2,000 subs, which is of course way more than I will ever have, and that's totally fine. But like I'm not shouting them out because I want their attention or I want that algorithm notices me. I mean, of course, if algorithm boosts them, sure, I'm fine with that. I mean, I like these guys, so no problem on that aspect or anything. But yeah, I'm not trying to leech from their um, from their channels or anything like that. That's just really that's very lame. So I don't I don't want to do that type of that type of things. I just I just enjoy their stuff. I like to watch their videos. And another video or actually video series that I really enjoy is Hair Monsters Mermaid Swamp. I don't know how many people even remember that. It's very. I just like that game. It is RPG game, so kind of like a adventure slash horror slash wandering around and this kind of stuff. So it's not like fast paced. It's not like you have billion things in screen all the time. It's like very slow. Um, just little by little you observe things, and there is just something so relaxing. I have watched the Hair Monsters gameplay of that. Um, it is like 7 videos or something like that, and I don't know if he actually likes his own gameplay of that one. I mean, I find it very enjoyable. Like the there is like a lot of wandering around, and but once again, everybody who has played RPG games knows that there is a lot of wandering around. There is a lot of you finding some object, and then you have to find that where do you use that object, and then you find a locked door or something, and then it's like, okay, what do I have to do now? Do I have to find a key or something? And his gameplay is like maybe 2 or 3 hours long, and more than half of it, probably 2/3, is just him wandering around. But I just find it so relaxing. I find that stuff to be very enjoyable. But um, yeah. So I think we are something like maybe half an hour in. So we will have lots and lots to do. So um, when it comes to like this difficulty, um, we are now like 2 maps in, and the difficulty really hasn't um, exactly like raised too much. So this will be a relatively easy stuff still. But if you think about like if you think about like a difficulty, so these type of challenges really shows like there are like two things in these difficulties. So first of all, like these regular regular challenges. So this enemy placement and that type of stuff. Like everybody understands that. For example, I have to punch out this guy right now. So everybody understands that there is like certain difficulty with this. So nothing surprising with that. But this difficulty when it comes to duration, so like a duration test, the difficulty is something completely different. Um, One of the biggest durance tests in my Doom history that I have ever failed is Doom 2, so Vanilla Doom 2 D2all UV Max. And I understand that people are immediately gonna say that Doom 2, that is very easy stuff. It's like, yes, I know it is very easy. Doom 2 is easy. But the thing is, like, if you have to do D2all, well, of course I don't have to, but anyway, I decided to do D2all. That is quite a endurance test. So when it takes as I said, it was unsuccessful for me, but the run would have taken about 5 hours. And yes, I really mean that 5 hours, no saves, nothing like that. So it's 5 hours, uh, like a continuous swoop. And if you die 4 hours in, well, that's it. You're done. So back to map one. Um, Unfortunately, I failed it. I failed it quite a few times. My best run for Doom 2 was when I actually made it till Icon of Sin. I actually like cleared it. So I cleared Icon of Sin and I got the ending screen and that type of stuff. But I actually forgot one of the secrets in Monster Condo. So it was the 30-second secret. So 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds, and then you have to grab the stuff. There was like a backpack or whatever, and you have to you have to get that stuff. And I didn't even remember that it was mandatory. Somehow I just thought that it's optional because there is optional secret over there. So in the monster condo, you don't have to do the teleporter crap. Um, but by the way, I shot that Kako because I was kind of tired, especially with this health. So I just didn't want to take my chances. But anyway, I failed the Doom 2 run and I haven't gone back for it. So I failed it. I'm a loser. I'm a loser, and that's it. So I I just see that like these are two completely different types of challenges. So these endurance tests, like same thing as with Doom 2, this is not like a challenging or this is not a difficult map set at all. But when we are now like half an hour in or something. So think about it when we are 1 hour in or 2 hours in. Um, it doesn't need more than like a one chain gunner trap or Archie trap or something, and you just simply forget it, and you might die just like that. And there are like you might miss secret, especially if you cannot backtrack. Um, you might fall in the death pit or something, and every time it's like back to map one. So these durance tests are something completely different. different types of beasts, and overall, like these first two maps, I would say, are slightly different because, of course, right now, if I would die, I don't have that much to lose. So, for example, if I would uh, fail over here, so the Archvile, if Archvile would zap me, that actually happened in one of my unsuccessful runs. So the Archvile zapped me over here, then I accidentally woke up couple elementals at a time, and then even more elementals. It was kind of messy. Somehow I actually managed to beat uh, this area, despite the fact how poorly it went. I died later on in another map, but once again, you can see like um, when we are like half an hour in or something, you don't have that much to lose. But I would say that not only that the difficulty increases, I'm really tempted of saying that it increases exponentially. So you have so much to lose, and we're gonna talk about those things um, later over here. But further you are into the map set, the more nervous you will get. Now I would say that personally, I think I am a somewhat calm person. So I don't think I'm very neurotic. I do try to, be relatively focused because, I don't have that many map sets that I play. So there are only a handful of map sets. So I'm like very focused. I know exactly what kind of traps there is in these maps. So I don't think I'm very like nervous, but it's just reality. The further you are into the map set, uh, you might very easily just lose everything. And it is also worth pointing out that when you have, like in this case, you have almost 3 hours or 2.5 hours plus um, to do, there is so much to remember. Like, think about how many um, jump scares there are. Think about how many monster closets, how many secrets you have to remember. Um, think about all the ammo pickups you have. And I actually managed to, yeah, spoiler alert, I managed to get all the items as well. So there are a few things where I really have to remember that where is that stuff. So there are, in all honesty, there are more than 100 things that I just have to remember. And sometimes, well, as I mentioned earlier, if you forget something, it's just you just lose so much so quickly, and it's always back to map one. Um, and that was one thing that I noticed in my failed Doom 2 thing. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but it was like a couple of years ago when I attempted d2all over there. It was one thing that I noticed that I died quite a few times in the 20s, the 20s maps, like 23 Barrels of Fun or 24 Chasm, which I must say that they are not very high quality maps anyways. I know I sound a little bit bitter, but in all honesty, those are not fun maps to begin with. But I just noticed that when I failed those, um, it was always just back to map one, and it was so annoying. And for some reason, I noticed that when it comes to a couple of early maps, let's say like Focus or um, Waste Tunnels, which are maps 4 and 5, I noticed that I kind of started disliking them. And in all honesty, I think those are among the best ones, especially Focus. It's very very high quality map in my opinion. It's very fun to play, but it's just like when you're playing Focus, you know that you're in map 4, so it's like a pretty much the entire thing is still ahead. And if you think about it, you have like a 5 hours of gameplay, and you have like regular job. You just, when are you actually gonna get 5 hours of free time? You might not get it very easily. So for me, it was like back then, it was the thing that I was able to put like one attempt after, hard day of work, and that's it. So then, fingers crossed that everything goes nicely. But 5 hours, and if I fail at map 20 something, so then entire run is failed. I have wasted my entire evening, and I'm a little bit frustrated, let's just say. So then I'm just gonna make myself a sandwich and then sleep. Um, and it was something similar with this as well. Of course, this is way better quality, but I actually cleared this run at Saturday. Sorry, not Saturday, Sunday, and I started like midday or something. I was kind of ready that I might be still doing this in the late evening, not having it cleared, and then going to sleep and not having the exit. I think I wasted like, well, there was many or some unsuccessful runs, but I was able to clear it during that very day, because I'm not one of those gamers who plays during night. I mean, I sleep during night, so I I'm not gonna do these kind of attempts um, during nighttime and then just drinking a lot of coffee or stuff like that. So um, I was actually expecting that I will not get the exit, and then um, during Monday, Tuesday, and so on, I will after regular job in the evening, I'm gonna put like one attempt, and that's it. Um, we're gonna see relatively soon that there will be certain maps where the difficulty is relatively rough, because there are like there is certain randomness that might you know uh, pause you your run, and then it's once again back to map 1. So I was kind of surprised that I was I actually got this run so quickly. I think, as far as I remember, I actually checked this from a command line after I got this exit, that there was like 9 demos that I recorded, and out of those 9 recordings, of course, this is the last one, so that was a successful one. And maybe I'm pretty sure there was one which was like a nonsense. It was just me recording like 5 seconds to see that everything works. So if we say that that would be correct, it would mean that there was 7 unsuccessful runs, and I think that I wasted like let's say 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours in unsuccessful runs. Um, the map or the run which was the longest one that was unsuccessful, it was more than 1 hour. I think it was something like close to 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours, and then I failed. Yeah, it was very very frustrating. But on another hand, the whole session took like from 6 to 7 hours, whatever it was. So it's quite a lot. But again, I was completely ready that I'm gonna spend like 10 hours and failing despite that. Um, I know that part looked a little bit rough, but I must say that this map 3 was definitely one of the breather maps. I actually didn't find this, or for me this was a little bit like a, yeah, well, as I said, breather or kind of relaxing map. Once again, you just have to remember so much. So for example, if you would forget that trap which we just cleared, um, it might be game over very very easily. And when you have like this many hours of run to do, you just have to be on your toes all the time. So the difficulty is something completely different compared to like regular pistol start runs, because this map would take like 20 minutes or something, 15 minutes. So if you fail at the very last map, it's like who cares? But we have so much to lose. But yeah, this will be just absolutely huge durance test. For me, like if I think about like endurance tests, I think this is the longest successful thing I have ever done. Like, of course, I did clear Doom 2 d2all, except for the monster condo. So technically, I was the end of 26, map 26. It was still clean. So I guess that is, I don't know how many hours. Once again, I don't think it counts because I screwed up map 27. So this is like 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours of gameplay, uh, completely clean UV max. So endurance test wise, this is my biggest achievement. But once again, like that has nothing to do with the mapping um, mapping difficulty. So I'm not saying that this is the toughest map set I have ever done, but it's the endurance test. I think the if I think about other endurance tests, there are like Doom 1 um, episodes that I have done, like all the vanilla things. So from episode 1 to episode 4. I have also done Sigil 1. And if you do like D2all, not D2all, UV max for that, and as an episode run, no saves once again. I think that takes more than an hour. It's maybe close to 1.5 hour doing Sigil 1. I didn't like Sigil 2 very much. It was kind of lame in my opinion. I haven't even tried episode run of it. I haven't done pistol starts, but like Sigil 1, I would say it's 1.5 hours. So that is probably one of the biggest endurance tests I have cleared successfully. But as I said, this is way, way more. There are also like some mini wards that I have cleared, but they are usually, 5 or 6 maps, something like a lunatic from Skillsaw, or running late 1 from A2 Rob. But again, like those barely take more than 1 hour. So we are just in completely different different ball game over here. There are also like few maps that like single maps that have taken a long time. Of course, I have cleared Lullaby. It's even in YouTube, so that took like 50 minutes. So that is durance test to some degree, definitely. But I would say that the slowest map I have ever cleared, like single map, that is probably from Alien Vendetta. Um, Demonic Hordes, which is my favorite map from there. It takes a little bit less than an hour, but if you want to go like balls to the wall, um, you can put there, and I have done it many times, you can put there fast monsters. So of course it um, raises the difficulty quite a lot because it's just so chaotic, especially for a map like that, which is chaotic to begin with. And then I put even co-op monsters there, or solo net, so to speak. So you can get, was it like 1/3 extra enemies or something? So it was from the start, it was more than 1,000 enemies, and now you get like a 1.6 thousand enemies or 1,600 enemies or something like that. That run, so demonic horde, fast parameter and solo net parameter, it takes like 75 minutes from me. So once again, it is a durance test to some degree, but this is just completely different. Completely different. Um, but yeah, it helps so much, by the way, to remember all this stuff. It was one reason why I really wanted to, because I started thinking about this like a couple days ago. So I just started to think that can I actually beat this map set um, without saves continuously? And I thought that, maybe I can, maybe I cannot, but it would be the best idea to go for it right now. Because right now I remember absolutely everything from these maps. So it's much better to do it right now, because if there would be, let's say, 20 or 30% extra because I wander around and try to find secrets or something, it really doesn't help. So it is so important to remember all of this stuff. So at least you don't have to spend time wandering around or any that type of stuff. Um, because there are still like so many traps that might end your run just like that. Of course, this is quite easy map, but we're gonna see quite rough things, and we're gonna talk about those later. Because once again, we have so much time, so I'm gonna talk about all kinds of things. Um, all kinds of things. So once again, feel free to, fast forward or jump from one map to another. It's like I totally understand that this will not be one of those really flashy um, videos. I have never actually understood too well. Like for me, my favorite YouTubers, they are mainly like a small. They have like small platform, so we talk about like simplistic stuff. It's not highly edited or anything. I have noticed that there are quite a few cases where I actually start disliking the style when it becomes more like flashy. Um, there are even certain content creators. I don't want to name anybody because I don't want to blackball. Plus, you know, if I you know, curse them out and telling how much they suck, it's probably algorithm just notices that I mentioned some big YouTuber and then they just get more promotion. So I'm not gonna give any bad examples, but there are like certain content creators that I actually like to some degree, but then they just started to do like very flashy style, and then it just really gives the feeling that this is type of easy to digest content, which is very easy to, you know, spread in social media or something. Of course, I have nothing against like these relaxing videos because, as I mentioned, this is something similar to that for a change. I just I just really don't understand when there are some highly edited videos and just like many references and this kind of humor, and I don't care about it too much. Nothing against humor by itself, but I'm not very I'm not very funny person. I don't care about humor that much. I'm relatively serious, or I am quite serious person in many ways. I just once again I'm kind of calm and um, that that type of person. So um, yeah, I just like this simplistic style, and if the algorithm doesn't like you, that's totally fine. You're probably doing a good job. Um, so the algorithm seems to promote style that I personally don't care for. Although I do have to say that I don't actually use like social media anyways. So if some video clips are like very popular in social media, like in TikTok or something, I don't understand about that because I don't use them. By the way, there's a really annoying shotgunner right there, you bad boy. But yeah, I don't use those social media things. I mean, I'm not very social anyways, so it's needless for me to try to make videos that would be like very popular in some internet site that I don't even use. Um, but I don't have any social media things. I mean, this YouTube thing, and I mean, I don't even use YouTube that much, except if I'm watching other people videos. But like I don't use like social media things. So no Facebook, no Twitter, nothing like that. I don't even have I don't actually have a smartphone. I have a regular phone, and I barely even use that one. I just don't have any need for that stuff, because once again, if you're not very social, why would you need that kind of devices? Of course, smartphone does have like internet and that. Oh gosh, this is just painful. Oh man, I grabbed that armor. I didn't want to grab that armor, and I kind of revved the chainsaw in frustration. Like 98% blue armor and 100% green armor now, so that was a waste. I was a little bit frustrated, especially since I could have easily just um, skipped that box of bullets. I don't actually need it, but I wasn't thinking about it. Thankfully, the ammunition isn't much of a problem. Like once again, this map is just massive breather because um, this is relatively easy map. You get just ton of ammo Health and armor wise, it's relatively generous, so it kind of stacks you up and helps you further you go. I mean, granted, the next map will be a little bit uh, RNG or random number um, dependent. So if you fail the next map, these ammo stacks and that kind of stuff probably don't help you. But still, I really appreciate that I get all this stuff because I think we are probably like 1 hour in right now. Once again, I don't see the cumulative time. I don't even see what time it is in my or over here. I don't see what time it is. Yeah, by the way, I just like that Archvile. It's so humorous. I have beaten this map for like half a dozen times, and many times in a camera as well. And I have dropped that Archvile. I would say that at least half of those times I dropped that Archvile, and it doesn't matter too much with the gameplay. But it looks very humorous. Um, it just looks very humorous when the Archvile falls. So it's very nice. So the last guy down, and we are done with map 3. So right next we have one of those maps where the random number thing might screw you over to some degree. So let's go to map 4. And yeah, let's go back to bed. By the way, unfortunately, these intermission screens, you cannot see those stats. I don't know why. But if you're interested of those stats, you can always see what's happening in my left screen's left corner. So there are those stats as well. So you can see that every single time I have like 100, or I have everything, all the kills and that type of stuff. So this is like clean UV max all the time. It's showing there, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Of course, if I would upload this demo somewhere, you would see from that. By the way, I'm taking the left-hand side right now. Yeah, I'm taking the left-hand side because I want to clear these elementals. But I'm almost standing in the box of bullets. So I grabbed it over there so I can fire the 51st bullets pretty much. Then I'm gonna grab this ammo pickup. It doesn't matter too much, but yeah, that was what I did. But anyway, as I mentioned, this map is a little bit RNG based. And the reason, we can see the reason relatively soon. Of course, we are just barely 1 hour in, but still, like, failing after 1 hour, it means 1 hour down the drain. So it's kind of embarrassing, no question. So after we clear this caco, we get to this most memorable room of this map, and like, this is nothing difficult at all, but you might fail so easily over here just by random coincidence. So those rockets are flying all around the place, and then IBs might be infighting with Hell Knights. And I'm being very careful over here. I don't want to peek too much. And at this moment, I kind of thought that I'm gonna clear a couple of these guys by myself because I totally have enough ammo. I actually, like, thought about it beforehand as well, that I'm gonna clear some of those guys by myself. And this looks very drastic. Oh, right over there. Um, I got a little bit of a jump scare. And once again, as you can see, like it doesn't need more than couple random rockets. So over there and let's say over here, and the run has ended. And it is skill issue to some degree. And once again, I'm not complaining about mapping. I'm complaining that, I don't recommend anybody doing this stuff without saves. And over here, I don't know how this works, but yeah, I got a couple of zaps, and you can get like even more. So it's quite rough, and I'm pretty sure you can even, die there, and the run ends, and you become a failure. By the way, once again, you have to remember those um, teleporters over there. So I went for the blue teleporter to continue. So if you would take the I teleporter, that would have been death. So once again, these are very simple things when you do a pistol start or saves. But right now, I just don't have a possibility that I take like a death teleporter and then back to map one. Okay, so there's like one or two revenants still, and everything else is the cyber room. And what exactly is happening over here? Well, in the one of the hair monsters recent videos, he showed Commander Keen dancing. So I have extra time because I'm waiting for Cyber Demon to get crushed. So this is Doom guy dancing. So he has quite a moves over there. So good job. I don't know what kind of melody is there, but yeah, Doom guy very nice dancing. And now remember to take the green teleporter. So yeah, now we go to the exit. Um, so yeah, that was a dream, and once again, you really have to remember that um, those couple of things. So those teleporters, you have to be careful with those few fights where, well, there is also RNG based, so everything might end so quickly. Fun fact, this is actually the map where I died once. I cannot understand how was I able to die in map 5, because this is once again definitely like a breather. And I don't think I was very arrogant. I was maybe a little bit like careless, and I was not in tip-top um, um, concentration was not in tip-top shape. But I don't think I was like arrogant that, oh, this is like so easy and I'm just so amazing Doom player and that type of stuff. Like, I don't think so. Um, I just made a mistake. I'm gonna point out where it happens, but this was actually the map which was the furthest one. So I was like, let's say 1.5 hours in or something, and then I died. So I have not actually died past this point, or I mean, past map 5. So, but over here I surprisingly ended up dying. Um, and it's kind of surprising that I didn't take any zaps with those Archies. They were very, very aggressive. But over here, these chain gunners, they ended me. And I was actually, like, I remembered this part, like, completely. I remembered that this will happen. But how did I end up failing? I'm not sure how. I think it was like combination. I took like one or two extra steps Then there was like a little bit of randomness, so a couple of guys on my right hand side, they just happened to walk exactly in my way. Plus, for some reason, I was holding SSG. I have no idea why. Um, so I ended up failing due to that. And well, technically, there was also the thing that like I barely made it out. Or I almost made it out alive. Of course, you know, almost alive is still dead. But let's just say that I put up a good fight, and um, it was still failure. But I understood that this fight is nothing special. Uh, so I can definitely clear that if I'm being careful. And of course, right now I had no problem with it. So somehow I managed to fail, and yeah, it was very bitter. But I can tell you, I didn't like a rant or scream or curse or anything like that, because once again I'm just very mild. I don't express much of anything. I don't feel much of anything anyway, so I'm just very much like a zombie. So I failed over there. Then I just took a breath, restarted the demo recording, and then started from map one. I think this is actually the next one. So I died there in map 5, and then with the next or run after it is this one. So I ended up beating this white soon. So once again, no reason to curse or anything. And that's actually one reason why I didn't record any um, unsuccessful runs, so like death reel. I don't think I'm gonna do that type of stuff in the future as well, because my unsuccessful runs are not interesting. So it's just, I just stop talking if I'm doing live commentary. I just stop because I noticed that okay, I died, so no reason to talk. So then I just cut the recording and start over. So there is not like some angry uh, whatever those are called, like a rage, gamer rage moments or anything like that. Um, I don't have that type of things. And besides, like if I would curse and um, complain, I would probably curse in Finnish, because that just sounds much more homey. I I much prefer cursing in Finnish, even though I rarely curse anyway, because I'm really mild. And besides, oh gosh, I shouldn't even say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So if I would curse, I would probably use type of words that get you kicked off from the platform. So those words. I would use them. Yeah, let's not go over there. We don't want to get banned. Of course, it doesn't matter too much if I get banned. It's like, yeah. Um, I don't have that much of a platform anyway, so I'm fine. But yeah, I am not much of a rage for me. So, yeah, no death reels over here. And of course, the death reel wouldn't be very interesting over here because I'm doing a post commentary anyways. Probably the same thing in the future. I have actually wondered that there might be another map set which I might at some point play and maybe even do post commentary for that. I don't want to say what map set it is because first of all it might be way far into the future, so it's needless announce it beforehand. But anyway, it is one map set which isn't very interesting for many people. I have like a lot of nostalgia for that map set, so I kind of want to play it. Plus, I don't think almost anybody has played it on YouTube. It is completely forgotten. It is like very much like vanilla stuff that 99.9% of Doomers don't care because it's just like so boring. But again, like I just like this. It's sort of like bread and butter. So very like nice, um, simple map set. So I might do it at some point, but there is not like crazy strategies or anything. So I might record it at some point. And since I don't have any like crazy strategies for it, I might just talk about anything Doom related. By the way, I shotgun that mastermind down because I don't want to go like balls to the wall the same way as I did in pistol start things because things can go wrong so quickly. And if you're wondering why am I saving that health, it's for the next map. So remember the next map will be the forest. So it is quite punishing. So now let's go back past these guys. Funnily enough, even though I tried to save health, I actually failed over here. So these guys were so aggressive. So was it like 2 or 3 hits immediately? So that was a little bit of a failure. Thankfully, I do have a ton of extra health, but still, in my walkthrough thing, I did it way better because those revenants were in completely different place and they really took their time, and I think they still you know uh, popped up like one after another, not as a duo. So uh, thankfully it didn't cost me my run or anything because once again this is relatively easy. Of course I did fail in one of the other runs due to that chain gunner trap, but anyway. And funny thing is that once again, just like in my walkthrough, this Cacodemon took his sweet time. I don't know why am I dropping over here, but because I could have gone for the path, it would be way faster. So I'm not sure what was I thinking. These will look very silly. I'm searching for that armor. Yeah, it's not over here. Yeah, it's not over there. And now I'm just collecting health because I'm thinking that where is that? Where is that armor? More health, but oh, where is that freaking armor? And don't go back there. Oh, I did go back there. Come on, it's right over here. Just be a little bit smarter. But yeah, now finally. And now map 6, we're gonna go quite a rough map over here. But thankfully my health is so much better than usual. So I would say that somewhere, well, not right now, but very soon I kind of start, slowing down because I have so much to lose. And for example, in this map, your resources get so easily deployed. Um, so you don't need that many failures, and then you're done. You have failed. So like basically it's death because you forget a couple of things here and there, and it's just too much. So but I would say that this is one of those maps where thankfully there are not like big jump scares or that kind of things, especially since I remember absolutely everything what I need in this map also. So but the difficulty is mainly the fact that your health gets chipped away little by little, especially at this early stage, like first half. And the second half, of course, you do have to remember that one chain cyber attack, and to some degree the double elemental, the circular arena. So this isn't still like too bad. It's relatively similar as with my walkthrough, but we are something like 1.5 hours in. So failures would be very heartbreaking. And when I played this map set, when I got this successful recording, I think I was somewhere, maybe it was like map 7 or something, so not right now, but still, somewhere over there when I really started to think that if I fail, I might have to just take a little break and go to sleep and continue next day, because it just really sucks the juice out of you. You become very tired. So if I would die over here, it would mean that I would need like 1.5 hours at the best case scenario that I end up to the same place. So thankfully I didn't fail. But yeah, so fortunately I had only one session, even though the session took like, something like 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours. But still, it was one session when I got this. Um, so not like multiple hours or that type of stuff. So I was positively surprised by that. Yeah, once again over here, if you take like couple hits by some random guys and then Mancubus climbs in and maybe one cackle, things can go quite bad, and you just really have to be so careful. Yeah. And it was one of those maps where I really started to think, I hope I can grab all the items. I mean, technically items are not part of UV max, but still. We have managed to do that quite well in quite a few different wards. So I was thinking that if I can still keep going with aces, it would be quite nice. But oh man, those gunners are just relentless. Yeah. But still, like my strategy surprisingly works well in this continuous runs. By the way, this was the first time I ever went for any kind of continuous run. So this session when I go for the episode run or d2all for this, so all my other earlier attempts and practice sessions and recordings, they have always been like pistol start things. But in quite a few maps, this one in particular, it just looks basically the same. So I go for the left-hand side at the start and, progressing mainly like a clockwise fashion. So nothing too surprising. Gosh, my health just gets deployed. I would say that it's even magnified over here, that you really should go for the left-hand side, because I have amazing armor, which of course, I always have amazing armor in this map, because it's handed to you right at the start. but then I have also Soul Sphere, so I have right now 46% armor, and that is more than enough because I will get armor in the right hand side. So why should I rush there very quickly? Like no reason. I can get it um, later because once again I'm going for that armor late and still like I have 46% armor, so I'm doing amazing on that aspect, especially since I have extra health as well. So even if I would have like, you know, single digit armor, I would not be too concerned. So yeah, quite a thing, quite a thing over here. I really don't know what kind of stuff are we gonna experience over here. Of course, I do know how this run goes, but you know, my commentary will be all over the place. Um, Once again, this was sort of thing that I wanted. I had so many things to say, like random things regarding Doom, regarding like these maps and that type of stuff. So I thought that I'm not gonna overthink anything. So you know, this video will be all over the place, and I'm totally fine with that. I mean, the fast forward, and you know, those chapters there are for a reason. But yeah, I thought that this will be interesting for a change. So this will be a little bit more simplistic. Um, it really helps, like to have extra ammunition basically at this point and couple next fights. I mean, the ammunition is not like very punishing in this map anyways, but with pistol start, couple of things might go wrong at the next fight, um, or I mean next fight after the Lost Souls. So now I have extra stuff. So there is like um, extra plasma, for example. So it helps quite a lot. By the way, I'm looking for extra um, item over there. I totally forgot that one health bonus, which was marking the second secret. So that's why I'm kind of wondering that where did I miss one of the items? Well, I didn't. I will notice that um, relatively soon, but there will be a little while here and there when I'm searching for that non-existing armor bonus. Once again, this went surprisingly well. So this lady almost immediately died, and this one same thing, and that was like the main obstacle. It's weird that I have beaten this map again like at least half a dozen times, uh, but I'm still kind of surprised how much traffic there is, almost like a traffic jam. So you know, the teleporter just keeps going and going. So population is super high. I'm just, no matter how many times I see this, I'm kind of surprised. Although it might be the case that if you look at the Spyro map 21, it is way more simplistic. So maybe I'm just comparing it with that. for no reason at all. So maybe that explains something. But yeah, these went very smoothly. I think it was kind of smooth in my walkthrough as well. And let's save all those pickups because I will come back for that later. I mean, there is this Saibi attack still, so things might very well go wrong, and especially in this fight. Not that there is any jump scare, but it's more like there are so many little ones roaming all around the place, and they just chip away your health little by little, and those cacos don't help too much. It's just so difficult to see much of anything over here. It is a skill issue, obviously, but still, like, we really wanted to save those power-ups, because after clearing these guys, and couple next guys as well, that supercharge and extra green armor will be very much appreciated. But I will not like bother too much grabbing this ammunition because I don't need it that much. Although one shouldn't be too careless. But we are quite nicely. We are going quite nicely over here, and there is like, yeah, as I mentioned, the cyber attack will be like the large threat over here. But aside from that, I'm basically just thinking about the next map because we are so far into the map set, and there will be those RNG things happening. So as I mentioned earlier, so there are like a certain combat design things are challenging, um, and I have nothing to add. So for example, in the end of this map, it's quite obvious that there is a little bit of challenge. There are like 3 elementals or something, and then cyber, and you can barely see anything. So of course it raises difficulty to some degree. So that's like very obvious. But then we will see those random things happening, and I would say that, well, there are a couple of random things in maps 1 and 2, but mainly those random things happen in map 4 or then at the second half. So at this moment I am a little bit concerned over here that I just really don't wanna fail. I don't remember how far are we into the map set. And now I finally I think right now I finally understand that, oh yeah, the missing item is over here. So I don't know what was that punching. I probably was kind of celebrating that, yes, it was indeed these 2 items, and then there will be one blueberry. So maybe it was, yeah, Doom guy celebrating over there. But yeah, let's clear these guys. These guys next. Nothing crazy over here, but once again, it's so important to remember how things happen. So for example, we are stuck over here, so the door behind me is actually closed right now, so we cannot backtrack. So grabbing the extra extra stuff, like especially the extra health is very, very nice. I mean, there is extra armor in my right-hand side, but still, like, um, we might need that if the Stybie fight goes very poorly. Um, so I might need that. Okay, was that armor in my left-hand side or right-hand side? Well, whatever. Right over there, wherever it is. I don't know the directions. Um, I don't know. Okay, it's right over there. It's the left-hand side. So, yeah. Over here, I was kind of concerned that, wait a minute, was there specters over here? And I kind of checked that, but no, it was in map 3. But, you know, better be too careful than not careful enough. We have so much to lose if things go poorly. So this is still fine. And once again, these are kind of things that you just really have to remember. That after this guy, yes, there is this guy. Oh man, I don't even know how can you remember this stuff if you haven't played this map set for a little while. So that's why I really wanted to clear this run like relatively soon before I start to forget things. Like as an example, if I would go back to Doom to d2all, you know, if I go to map 19, um, Citadel, if I go to map 12, sorry, map 13, um, downtown, I will spend like twice the time that I would regularly do because I just don't remember that stuff at all. And overall, I just don't care that much. Like for me, Doom 2 is one of those that I much rather concentrate on a handful of high quality works because those are just so much more enjoyable. But clearing the whole thing, especially in one swoop, it's just too much. It's not enjoyable at all. So I'm really not motivated at all to get like a clean d2all for vanilla Doom 2 because it would mean that I would spend like next week every evening putting there like multiple hour runs and of course the all the you know practicing and that kind of things um, aside from that. So it would be quite a lot. And now map 7. This is once again one of those things that I don't even want to imagine what kind of unsuccessful run would be over here. So if I would simply forget this first secret, I don't think you can backtrack, so you have to get it right now. And let's see Doom Guy dancing a little bit. So yeah, he dances very nice moves, and this is very cool. By the way, he's not punching anybody; it's just celebrating and waving his hand. And very nice thing is that he can get like a partner over here. So let's see Clarissa over here. And yes, I want to point out that it's not punching; they are just celebrating over here. Everybody's having fun. I think the Clarissa might be a little bit dead, but I don't. I think maybe not. Let's forget that. So over here, once again, you have to remember: don't go there. Don't get crushed. Don't get splash damage. I almost went for it. Thankfully I do remember it, but still, like you really have to remember that don't make any of those those failures. So once again, there are so many things you have to remember. So it's not that certain maps are very challenging. It's more like this is a durance test and you just have to be very careful all the time. For me, I would say that the toughest map, if I think about only gameplay, it's probably Type 2, Map 27, Afterlife 2, and once again, like UV map, no saves, yada yada yada. So that stuff. Um, and it's like that map is very large. The fights are relatively challenging, at least for my skill level. It takes almost 1 hour. Um, there is a little bit of randomness and, you know, it's very rough. But yeah, over here it's not about difficult fights, it's just the fact that you have to be careful. Thankfully this map 7, as long as you remember that first secret, there is nothing too crazy over here. So I'm really taking my time over here and definitely using that invuln so that nothing crazy happens. I'm really I'm kind of relaxed about the fact that thankfully this map worked, so I didn't, you know, accidentally exit the first area too quickly or this kind of stuff. These guys are down. And then let's see Clarissa. By the way, I started to think about it that, you know, we have this Clarissa the Cacodemon theme, and especially in this map we can see quite a few dead cacos. And this map is called the Dream. So of course, like, caco is a normal creature in the Doom reality. But I started to think that, you know, are those dead cacos there for a reason? Of course, there is like only one Clarissa, but that map is called Nightmare, and then the map 4 was called Dream, and we saw quite a few dead cacos, and once again, like, cacos are completely normal enemies. So for example, these cacos over there, I'm not talking about them, but the cacos that are placed there for a reason, especially on maps 4 and 7, and to some degree map 11. I started to think that are those sort of like a, you know, Doom guy dreaming or having nightmare. He sees these dead cacos. So, you know, Clarissa is gone. And well, we saw in the map 11 ending screen the background story. So are those dream and nightmare maps thing that the Doom guy sees Clarissa dead everywhere? Yeah, because when I was doing the walkthrough, I was kind of thinking that what are these dream and nightmare referring to, but I think I got my hypothesis over here, so I assume it's something like this. But again, like, stories in Doom, they are not, you know, they don't matter. But I just started to think about it while I was playing, because once again, this run took like 3 hours, and I was like, to some degree, I was hyper focused, but then it was also just like a, you know, I can think about all kinds of things, and there was a little bit of a non-vanilla mouse look action. Let's stop that and continue with the normal vanilla stuff. So these guys have to go. This is once again a little bit of a breather. I was actually kind of concerned because I don't know much about that demo recording. I have done like couple demos here and there, but not too much. So I was actually thinking that I hope that that mouse look thing doesn't break the demo or anything like that. And overall, like it was 2 days ago when I cleared this, map set. I actually wanted to record this commentary relatively soon because I was thinking that what if the file gets corrupted? So I don't understand anything about like LZ Doom or that kind of stuff, but what if they get like update and then my demo doesn't run? It's just like, I don't know if that is even possible. Like I have run um, demos, like some Doom God things that are, recorded in the 90s and everything works like a charm. But again, like those are vanilla stuff. The vanilla things haven't changed. Uh, so what about these LZ Doom things or GZ Doom things? Maybe they do. So much better to record this stuff very quickly, and that's it. Besides, I mean, I can do this. It's like 3 hours of me talking over here, so I can definitely make that time. So nothing difficult over there. And besides, like I have no idea when am I gonna even put this on YouTube because I have had this kind of thing that I record these quite quickly. I mean, it's April right now, so I have no idea when am I gonna put this on YouTube. I have like a uh, big folder in the computer. Like I have many videos there, completely ready. So I don't know when am I gonna upload them. There are multiple reasons for it. Like first of all, these are very quick to record. I mean, granted, this demo was quite challenging, but for the most part, stuff that I have played, um, it's the stuff that I have practiced like beforehand. So this forest is actually the first WOD that I practiced, or I started practicing it after uploading my first YouTube video. So everything else has been like a thing that I have known these maps before I started to do YouTube stuff. Of course, I mean I started YouTube uh, to upload that Spyro thing, but even with the Spyro, I was like completely ready. I had strategies and that type of stuff. And fun fact, actually, when I recorded Spyro, it took me like 3 days or something. So in the first day, I recorded like maybe half a dozen maps, and then I recorded like maybe 10 maps or something. And then for no reason at all, I started like a huge break. I don't know why. I just had a break. I had like all the strategies and everything ready, but I think I was just thinking that, do I even want to record or upload these in YouTube because they will be just handful of views and that's it. And Hair Monster possibly sees like one of my videos and that's it. So it's like once again I don't try to be like a big YouTuber or anything, but I wasn't sure that is it even worth it. So I recorded like those like half of my Spyro playthrough in like couple days, and it was like 1 week after the whole thing was even released. Like I don't have any beta early thing, so I just got the official release and immediately started practicing it, and in 2 days recorded lots of stuff. Then I had like 1 month break. Once again, not sure why. And then just randomly I thought that, well, I'm gonna I'm gonna still keep going. And then I recorded like 16 videos per day or something. I think I started from 17 or 18 and then just numerically there all the way till map 30, everything in one day. So my point is that it's very, very quick for me to record these. But I really don't wanna, I just don't wanna spam that many videos on YouTube, especially since I'm not gonna go into personal stuff. I'm not sure if I can record that much during summer, at least like commentary things, and so I have kind of stacked videos. I don't want to say which playthroughs because I don't know. I'm just gonna probably throw them in YouTube kind of randomly at some point. But anyway, I have quite a lot of content up and running, or ready to go. So yeah, I recorded this stuff. Yeah, let's see, when will this see light of day? Although I do have to say that it's very nice to prepare those videos beforehand, because sometimes I just, for example, in the forest, I just kind of randomly re-record certain runs. Noticed that my commentary was much better. I had like extra things that I noticed in the past. So, for example, when I cleared when I did the first recording from map 6, it was very entertaining. I went down to like 1% health or something. It was very entertaining. But like a couple days afterwards, I was just playing that map just for the heck of it, and then I noticed there was extra armor which I had not noticed beforehand, and that's kind of silly for somebody who does like walkthroughs. So I thought I'm gonna re-record it, and I got way better run. Maybe not as entertaining, but still way more informative. Of course, like informative videos, they are entertaining in their own way. So it's kind of nice that I don't have to work the way that one video at a time and immediately video to the internet and that's it. So much better to hang on a little while and see that if you want to make some changes. And technically the same thing with editing, even though I don't usually edit much of anything. So for example, this video, I highly doubt that I'm gonna edit anything. I'm just gonna record it, then I'm done. And if I'm fine with this goes to online someday in the future. But it's very nice to take my time to see whether I want to make some changes. Although I don't think I'm gonna do another gameplay demo for this. So if I would do another recording, it would be the same run, just like new commentary. But let's say if my commentary hasn't recorded at all, if there is some corruption or some other technical difficulty. But yeah, I think that's that. And I would say that somewhere around now I started to really think that there are like two major obstacles anymore. Maybe I'm like 2 hours in or whatever. But I don't think it's 2 hours, but relatively close to 2 hours, more than 1.5 hours, I'm sure. So failing over here would be just heartbreaking. Like once again, if I would have failed, for example, for those monkeys over there, I would have probably just taken a taking a breath and then going or getting myself a meal and then going to sleep or something because I would be just so exhausted. By the way, of course, no, I don't go for those armor bonuses. I get this armor and then bonuses. So instead of 100 armor, I have 102. Doesn't make any difference or anything, but I kind of try to stay on my toes. But anyway, as I was saying, there are like two major obstacles in this map set, and I can tell you it's not these imps over there, but it's map 9, which is the next. So I really like map 9, but one thing that is really terrifying for me is the BFG thing, and even this very start. So I actually got zapped over here. This was kind of lame. Like that guy zaps me. I I kind of yeah I could have dodged that, but I didn't dodge because I was thinking that what if I dodge further, then another archvile is already targeting on me or something. So then I might even get double zap. So that was a little bit lame. But anyway, that archvile thing isn't that bad. But the BFG grab is so the BFG grab. The problem that I have in this, and I have even checked from Doom Builder. I think I understand how it works, but problem is that you just can get um, you can get like randomly crushed over there. I haven't got crushed in my these continuous d2all attempts, but it has happened in my pistol start run. So over here, so don't get crushed over here. And I think why it happens, so I get crushed when I leave over here. So I think what happens is that I do a line def skip while I go in. So yeah, I do line def skip over there, and then when I leave, then I trigger the crusher to go and then die over there. So that was one of those things that if I just randomly die there due to a line def skip, it's like, I mean, line def skips themselves, they are just kind of random. So, and this is not once again like me complaining about the map, because like this is not the way you should play these maps in my opinion. It's much better to, you know, do pistol starts, or for some people playing continuous with saved. But either way, this is quite a this was very threatening for me, because I was thinking that I'm like 2 hours in and I might very easily just randomly get crushed, and that's it. Back to map 1. Actually, speaking of that time consumption, and yeah, I kind of chickened out over there. I don't want like I don't want to grab that health, because these guys are targeting me and the cybers, even though the 66%, yeah, 6666, very spooky. But anyway, like I'm chickened out. Anyway, back to the like time usage. So I was a little bit concerned beforehand because I couldn't make like very good approximation how much time will I use, and now I chicken out again. Oh no, I didn't. Oh well, anyway. So I was a little bit concerned that how much time will it take, because I didn't know before I started. So I was concerned that you know, there are 11 maps and the variation is very high. So map 2 is probably the largest one, and it might take like it's more than 1 hour sorry, more than half hour, and might be close to like 40 minutes. And that's quite a lot. And then of course there are like smaller ones, map 7 and map 4 in particular, but then it's still like a lot of variation. So what kind of average is there? That's kind of difficult to just, you know, take a guess. Or I mean, it's easy to take a guess, but it's difficult to take good guess or correct guess. So I was thinking that worst case scenario is that it takes roughly 20 minutes per map. And if you start doing the math, 20 minutes and 11 times, so that would be 220. So it's almost 4 hours. So 3 hours and 40 minutes. That is very short, very slow. So spending like almost, or yeah, more than 3.5 hours. And remember that you have to remember those unsuccessful ones as well. There will be many unsuccessful runs. And I was so ready that I might get crushed like once or twice in this map at least. I was totally ready to fail map 6 or map 7 or even map 11. So if you think about the successful run would take more than 3.5 hours, it would be quite a long session, and actually multiple sessions, just failures after failures. And yeah, over here the cyber will really take his time. But yeah, the worst case scenario it was that, in my mind, that it was 20 minutes per one. And if you think about like on another hand, I was thinking that maybe 15 minutes would be like the quicker version, but it's still not that amazing. Like 15 minutes per map, and 11 maps. God, that Archie's really going for it. But 11 map, that would be like 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is surprisingly close to the final product. But still, like, it just takes so much time. I actually tried to distract that cyber. I think he was distracted for some time, so I wanted to get a lot of damage on him. At some point I was actually a little bit concerned that he might die too quickly, especially if he gets stuck. I kind of like the fact that the Archie goes, and then yeah, this happens. So this cyber should take a lot of damage, and then I'm gonna clean up the rest. So yeah, this map is done. I was so much more relaxed over here, and for me the next map, map 10, this is or not this, but over here when we go to map 10, this will definitely be sort of a treat. For me, this is probably my favorite from this set. So it's not like incredibly easy or anything. It's like a mid difficulty from this map set, but it is just so enjoyable and nothing too crazy. Just have to be careful, and there are beautiful visuals. The architecture is very high quality and it's colorful and that type of stuff. So good stuff. So it was a little bit of a treat to end up over here. Although, granted, at this moment I was mainly concerned about the next map. So that's kind of the thing that you have so much to lose over here. Um, um, the interesting thing, by the way, is that, as I mentioned, it's April right now. If you're thinking, how much have I actually practiced this stuff? Well, first of all, I have practiced quite a bit. But then again, when I was recording this, it was, and I double checked this, it was 11 days when I opened this map set for very first time, and I got the first glance of these maps. So less than 2 weeks, and this is what we have. So I don't want to pat myself in the back. I'm not any kind of genius. I'm just saying that less than 2 weeks, so 11 days, you can very easily find very good strategies. And once again, there is not like walkthroughs or anything for this map set as far as I know. I think there is like Zalk did the blind stuff, but I haven't watched that. So 11 days and you can make a lot of progress. Thankfully over here now I remember that I have to tag this because I didn't need that chainsaw. But anyway, 11 days and you can progress very nicely. And when I actually started playing Forest, it took like 4 days to get my strategies done. So this was like when I cleared this map and this run, it was 7 days before this that I beat the final thing in this map set. So 11 days beforehand to 7 days beforehand. That was the 4-day period when I practiced and learned these maps for the first time. And the intermission overall, I was just practicing these. And yeah, by the way, having plasma over here is just a lifesaver. So yeah, this is quite a lot easier fight now when I don't have to chainsaw that revenant. But yeah, you can make so much progress, and like learning new traits and that type of stuff. For me, like I'm not very diverse, so I much rather stick with a handful of maps, and I just practice those and perfect my own strategies. Usually I don't care that much when I try to learn new things. It's a little bit frustrating for me. I don't like being confused. And my blind stuff is usually a little bit frustrating. Not because these maps are bad, but I just don't like being confused. I much rather have like a good idea of the maps, so I have my frustrating first experience, but then when I sort of know the basic things, I like when I can, master these strategies, when I can perfect my own runs, even though my strategies are not that amazing, but they are like pretty much everything what I do in these maps is like thought out. I don't improvise that much or anything like that. At least if I can help it. So let's clear this guy and then save a little bit of ammo. I don't think the ammo saving changes too much, but I was kind of trying to be careful. Even though it is a fact that I have almost 500 plasma, and usually you don't have any plasma at this point at this very map, so I am very much stacked. But still, like I will actually run surprisingly dry with bullets and shells, and once again my bullets are at 0, so clearly I have used quite a lot, but still, like, shotgun shell situation is very nice. Plus there is this um, ammo depot right over here, so I'm doing fine, but it is very important still to stay focused. And there is actually one. I don't. I don't think you can call it like wake up call, but still, little reminder that I have to be quite careful. So right over here. Okay, well, very soon. So that Archvile. Somehow I think he's very close to the window because he managed to zap me. And once again, like, I have very good armor, and 41% health isn't that bad. But this was very much, I cannot say that I freaked out, but because I'm not that expressive. But still, this was sort of like, okay, just stay calm, be careful. The run is not done or anything, but 41% health isn't enough. So just stay very much focused. Once again, one of those fights. Well, okay, there was a little bit of infighting, but anyway, this Archvile thing. Okay, I needed more health just to stay calm. Uh, but anyway, plasma over here helps you so much. So I even pushed that guy further over there. So yeah, at least I didn't take any damage on that very part. But yeah, let's see, what does this Archvile think? So yeah, he got zapped at me. But yeah, that was the end of him. So let's clear those guys next. But again, this is a little bit of a treat. It's very enjoyable. Very enjoyable overall, and there are not like jump scares. I don't think there's any jump scares in this map anyway, so I was kind of looking forward to this so I can just, stay calm and, collect stuff, getting a lot of ammo and to some degree getting like extra armor. It doesn't help too much with the next map, but still, at least the hell, at least ammunition, like extra plasma and that type of stuff, it does help. So this is sort of a very well appreciated breather that we are getting over here. And basically at this moment there is only one thing that I'm very much concerned about, which is the very final fight of this next map. So once again, like, nothing too crazy, but we are way over 2 hours in. So, and when we go to the next map, we are more than 2.5 hours in. So it's a long time if you manage to fail it. So let's just grab more armor over here and try to stay calm. And yeah, let's get this piano secret. Very cute, very cute. So not too much left anymore. But yeah, we're gonna keep going. No fast forwarding or anything. I highly doubt that there are many people around right now. Probably half of the viewers are asleep anyways. Although I don't mind when it comes to that viewer count. I have been positively surprised. I don't know if what was I exactly expecting, but I was kind of thinking that when I upload stuff on YouTube, there will be like, you know, 1 or 2 views and that's it. Um, but I have seen like, you know, 10 views or something. It's like, whoa, that is quite a lot. That is, I'm just, you know, I'm just a regular guy. Um, I This is like a mini hobby that I'm gonna do for a little while. That's it. There is no big plans or anything. By the way, I almost forgot this Mancubus over here. Thankfully, he didn't insta-fire me. Of course, that wouldn't have been end or anything. So let's clear those chain gunners over there. It's much better to clear these guys beforehand because they don't repopulate, or those places do not get repopulated. So it's much better to clear those guys. Those cacos really positioned themselves very nicely. They were just relentless over there. They will actually keep firing at me relatively soon. But yeah, those cacos were actually much larger threat than any of these gunners. So that was somewhat surprising over here. But yeah, at this moment I'm just completely narrowing my brain to the next map because I have so much to lose. And all of this stuff, this is just very enjoyable regular Doom, but I'm just thinking it was evening at this moment, or I don't know, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, and I had played something like maybe 6 hours. So it would be quite heartbreaking to fail, because even if I would fail and immediately restart successful run, that would be like 3 hours extra before I make it out alive. So that's a long time. And let's get that arch file over here. The corpse was so far in here that I wanted to guard the corpse. So yeah, no revives over there, thankfully. And then let's get the double arch file attack over here. Once again, nothing like crazy difficult, although I'm not too used to the fact that these cacos get any hits. Like, you know, there was 2, 3 projectiles, 4 projectiles. They were really aiming nicely. Thankfully, I still managed to dodge them, but still, like, yeah, nothing too crazy. But yeah, oh man, I like this map. I don't know if Hairmonster finds it expectable or weird, but I think that this is one of his best maps. This is just very enjoyable to play, like a really relatively easy, but still like nothing wrong with that. This is very enjoyable and like a very nice visuals also. So there is like this is just very much like top notch on every aspect. So good job. And if I'm saying that this is equally good as let's say some Spyro stuff, it's not because, you know, he hasn't upgraded his mapping, because I think he is, because for me Spyro is clearly his best work, but this is one of those maps that really stick out positively, because I personally very much like this work. So the forest.wad, I really think that this is well designed. There are like certain parts that were a little bit rough around the edges. So I would say the firewood was one of them. It was the map one that it was a little bit rough, I guess. Of course, it is a little bit gimmicky. Certain parts in oh, certain parts in come on, what happened? Okay, certain parts in maps 6 or to some degree map 9 as well. Um, they are a little bit rough around the edges, so that map that we were talking about, um, so map 10, that is, it kind of sticks out positively. So I think that Spyro is Hairmonster's best work, like throughout. But if we do a little bit of cherry picking, so taking the best map from this, so forest.wad, and to some degree, I would say even a couple of maps from um, from pump action. Those are still like those are still very enjoyable, even though especially in pump action. So map 3 or 5, those are like very much you're on a training wheels. So those are like very easy maps and very simplistic. Yeah, like nothing with that. But um, at least the town. So the forest map 10. I think it's in a top 3 best works from Hairmonster. So very good quality. Let's hope that my headset works. Uh, I pressed some button in this headset and there was like beep sound. Probably you guys couldn't hear it, but I'm not sure. Maybe the recording went off and I'm just talking to nobody. But that's fine. Probably half of the viewers are asleep anyways. So if you are asleep, that's uh, hopefully relaxing. I'm totally fine with that. Have a good sleep. Maybe I should actually stay silent so that you guys don't wake up. But anyway, so the final map anymore. I have to think that are there any things that like I have been uh, talking about all kinds of things over here. So I'm now wondering that is there something that I could mention? Hopefully not. Okay, this Kako will get plasma hit. I didn't get any other plasma hits on the Kakos as far as I remember. So I was really begging for it, but I really couldn't get stuff working over there. So those Kakos were maybe a little bit too smart. Too smart for me. They were really uh, really precise. This part actually didn't go too well for me, and once again, it's just the fact that we are more than 2 hours in, and you really cannot fail. You just really have to be careful. But I took a little bit of damage over here, and then I didn't get the Kako, and now there are these gunners. But even though I was ready for this, just look how my health gets deployed. it just keeps going. I don't have bullets anymore. I'm almost, well, not freaking out, but I'm really getting concerned that, you know, please don't end my run. Because if you think about it right now, there would have been like chain gunner or shotgunner taking like a point blank hit. It might have ended my run like more than 2 hours in. So now I could not have gone for that health because once again, if there was like a couple of gunners right in the way, that would have been quite rough. And those gunners don't help thing at all. So um, so not too much room for error over here. But yeah, at this moment, like, sure, I have to be careful with these regular things, but I'm still mainly thinking about the very final fight with boss enemies and that type of stuff. So you just really cannot make like large mistakes anymore. So it's like everything can end so quickly over here. And for example, those arachnos, they can just take like little hits here and there. A couple of gunners might take little hits here and there, imps and so on, and you know your health just you know gets deployed. And the arachnos are the worst because if these guys chip away a little bit of your health and then just out of nowhere the spiders just barely get hit on you, so that's quite rough. But we are like very close at this moment. And yeah, and it really helps that when I recorded this demo, I had recorded my um, walkthroughs like well, as I mentioned the time frame beforehand, but I started recording those walkthroughs quite quickly after learning these maps and creating my strategies. So um, let's say roughly 1 week beforehand this run, I had recorded my walkthroughs. So for example, I remember perfectly that this guy will get a jump on me, and same way over here, these guys get a jump or try to get a jump on me. So this guy, I almost forgot him, but not entirely. So, so very nice. Um, but yeah, that was one reason why I wanted to record this demo. So if I decide to go for this demo, which I did, I really have to do it very quickly. So I'm sure I will keep playing this stuff later on, but this is not one of those words like, let's say, pump action. I can just hop on pump action, and even though I have forgotten, let's say, 20 or 30% of a gameplay, it's still like, who cares? I still remember pretty much everything, and the little things here and there don't matter. And by the way, here, yes, Hairmonster, you outsmarted me. I thought that I'm gonna get a couple hits on those uh, spiders, but yeah, they are so far off that I couldn't. So yes, you outsmarted me. Thankfully, now I have rockets. Usually you don't have rockets in this fight, so I had a rocket, so I was able to drop those guys very quickly. So now back to the Revenant side. So this was one of those fights that I was kind of looking forward. That thankfully in this continuous thing, this is significantly easier. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check from my walkthrough. So once again, if you're somewhere in the future and this has released already, so if there is like final release, this is not the strategy you would do in a pistol start run. So if you're, practicing these maps and, trying beforehand, check from my walkthrough what kind of shenanigans I did. And, oh man, this Revenant is just lost. I don't know what is wrong with him. I really have to look for him. I can hear but not see anything. So now we can find it somewhere over here. So I was wondering that maybe he actually got hit by somebody and he was, going for them or something like that, because he was like very much there, lost and confused. So yeah, something wrong with that guy. Right now, especially, I'm just laser focused. There is basically one major fight left anymore. I'm 2.5 hours in. Everything is like in the tip of my fingers, pretty much. So I'm almost done. I'm so exhausted that if I fail, then I'm just gonna close down the game and then watch some relaxing video from YouTube and have a good meal and then try another day. So it's really like the last stretch left anymore. So especially the Cyber Demon at the final fight. He might be the troublemaker, but nothing else, to be honest. So nothing crazy over here. Even the secrets are very easy to find and you can backtrack and that type of stuff. So let's clear this Kako next and then let's go for the final arena. Oh no, the secret, of course. The other secret. Thankfully I remember this better in my run. So yeah, let's get this stuff. I actually cleared some of these guys beforehand, so especially in the pistol start runs you might want to get some infighting, but this is the final map and I have so much ammo and so much to lose, so I'm taking my time and clearing these guys beforehand, because these guys can be quite difficult and I'm gonna point out why. So I'm basically now triggering the next guy over here, and the thing that I was a little bit concerned is that, these imps very easily block your way, and now it's kind of problem that what if there is one or two spiders in my right hand side, they can just barely shoot over that ledge. So nothing catastrophical, but once again, it is quite a failure if you die over here. We are so close. I was actually thinking, but this is definitely not criticism of anything, but I kind of started to think that holy moly, if hairmonster releases like let's say half a dozen new maps, which would be like after this, so this forest becomes from 11 map to let's say 17 maps. I'm not sure if I can do this kind of d2all anymore. And for some reason over here I thought that let's get a little bit of infighting. I'm not sure why. We have totally enough ammo, but I think it was I just saw those Kakos and thought that maybe we can get Cyber teleporting in. I must say that this part didn't go very well, because I fired this guy right now and now he's totally mad at me. And I almost started to freak out over here because the cyber is totally going for me. And these um, airborne enemies, they are like or cacos, they are so they are really, you know, occupying the space. And thankfully, somewhere around now, the cyber finally gets distracted. But I got a little bit concerned over there, and my health, like, it is very good, but direct cyber hit, maybe like a revenant hit after that or something, things can go so wrong. And there is absolutely no reason to die over here, especially in a continuous run where I have so much ammo and I have left so much ammo. So that's why I kind of wanted to step in. I didn't even want to try clearing the mastermind simultaneously with these guys. So I'm not sure why am I even collecting this stuff. There is absolutely no reason for any of this stuff. And I don't know why did I grab the ammunition but not berserk, because I have the other berserk anyway. So basically this whole run is cleared when this lady falls. So why not grab that berserk? And I didn't even take damage with this. So let's go back to this. So basically this run is now done. Um, Um, yeah, conclusive words. So first of all, I recommend don't try this stuff. This was not very fun. And it's not because the mapping was bad or anything. It's just that this is much more enjoyable if you whether you saves or then do pistol start thing. So like almost 3 hour run. This is very nerve-wracking. Technically, of course, it is a challenge, and I kind of like the fact that I was able to beat this, especially since I was able to beat this in my first session, so I didn't waste that much time uh, with this. But still, I'm still recommending using other settings. So let's just clear this guy and let's say hi to Clarissa the Cacodemon. Yeah, and there a little bit of doom by dancing next, so we are done. And that was finally I left this running over here so we can see 2.5 hours something. I can't remember what was the final time, but we can see it over here. Um, so yeah, quite a run. And if you're wondering why did I leave it over here, I wanted to show that intermission screen, but for some reason it doesn't show in the demo. So so yeah, this will take a couple of seconds and then the demo ends. But this was very like I'm very satisfied with the fact that I was able to beat this. Um, and good job with the map making. But the walkthrough stuff was, or the pistol start things, those were like definitely the stuff that I enjoyed the most. But anyway, I think it's better to stop now because I have been talking way too much already. So we are done, and this